if I am awareness, then why am I only aware of this body mind? And also, why is the body finite in its duration? Or is that kind of like a beyond the point?
You're only aware of this body and mind because you are experiencing this body and mind in the same way that if you were to read a book, you're only aware of the book because you're reading that book. But it doesn't mean you're limited to that book, you see? The body and the mind is limited. It's a limited point of view. So awareness isn't limited to the body and the mind. That's the thing. It's not about why can't I read other people's minds and do all these types of things. That's content stuff. That's stuff that awareness is aware of. But awareness isn't limited to being aware of just the finite mind because it's aware of itself. And it doesn't use a thought or a feeling or an image or a body or a mind in order to know itself. It knows itself autonomously. So awareness is unlimited. Your question was kind of like a telescope asking, if I'm infinite, why can't I see all the stars? Or why, if I'm infinite, why can't I see? Why am I only limited to seeing the sky? You see, the telescope isn't really the one asking the question, um, because the one asking the question is unlimited, which is the observer, right? The astronomer. You're the astronomer, you're not the telescope, but you ask the question from the point of view of believing you're the telescope.
I'm not sure if I fully understood because I still feel that as awareness, I'm limited by the body mind
Do you know
because that's the only
you are aware?
experience. Yeah.
There's your evidence that you're not limited by the body and the mind. If you were limited to the body and the mind, you would need something to know yourself. Like if I wanted to watch Netflix, I'd have to turn the TV on. I'm limited to the Netflix is limited to the TV. The words are limited to the page on a book. If I want to access the book, I must touch the page. I must read the words. But awareness doesn't use anything. It's got no, there's not, it doesn't require a single thing to know itself. So that in itself, it seems maybe to some people like nothing, but that is everything. It is. It's just is evidence that it does not require the body and the mind, which means that awareness is on regardless of whether the body and the mind are on. Which means, yes, right now you might be experiencing this body and the mind, but you are not really just experiencing this body and mind because you awareness are experiencing everything. But as from this point of view, it seems like you're just aware of this body and the mind in the same way that when you're watching a Netflix show or a Apple TV show, is my preference. Um, it seems like when you're watching the movie, you're limited to that movie, but you could do whatever you wanted. Now, obviously, it's not the same. You can't just turn off the movie of this life like you could on Netflix or speed it up or rewind. You're you're in you're experiencing everything, but from individual points of view. So that's what awareness is experiencing. Well, we have to see it in a way that God did and has or is creating every possible world. This might not be the best example, so don't take it too literally. Imagine God created a load of empty vessels, just trillions and trillions of empty vessels. And these vessels were body minds. And then God pressed a button and started experiencing all of those vessels, body minds, all at the same time. That's kind of like what we're experiencing. We're not empty vessels, like little shells that consciousness goes inside. That's not what it is at all. Um, but there is everything all happening at once, and God is also experiencing everything all happening at once. And the individual points of view are what we call the souls of God, which are minds. The whole collective psyche is what we would call a soul, the whole spectrum of our psyche. And this direct experience we're having right now would be the mind. Thank you all for watching this video. I have a retreat. It's happening at the end of the year, the 1st to the 7th of December, 2025. If you'd like to join, the link is in the description. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Take care, guys.